Hello, right, I've had lots of people ask me about Immobiliser systems and Immobiliser Deletes and what they're all about and how easy they are and why you do them in the first place. So, I just thought I'd do a quick demo of what Immobiliser Deletes are all about. Firstly, so you've got to say this is a VW Audi group, see it. This is one of mine. And the key consists of a couple of parts. Obviously, you've got the blade, you've got the remote, and inside here in the remote, you've got what's called a transponder chip, which, when you put it in, a signal is sent through to the gateway module, which through the gateway module to the immobiliser module, which is part of the instrument panel on these cars, on these older, well, on the majority of the current ones as well of the Volkswagen Audi range. So you turn the key, sends a signal to there. That then sends that signal to the ECU, and if they're both happy in the matching signals, it will ignore that. That's the hot start, usual VAG PD engine hot start issue, which I will be mapping out. But yep, so there you go. She runs, sent a signal, it's happy. So I'll check that on the floor. This is a blade I've cut literally 5 minutes ago for the car. And obviously no transponder, no remote. The remote does not matter. People think, oh, the remote's not working in the car. So the remote has nothing to do with any later car really. The latest thing I can think of was like they finished in like 2012. Defenders, Land Rover Defenders still used the remote. So key in, it will fire and cut out. Ready? That won't even fire. So obviously it's not sending. Oh, there you go. So, because there's no transponder on that, it's not sending the signal. And obviously the transponder is coded to each car. You can't just use any old transponder, it has to be coded to the car. So that is obviously what the immobiliser does. Immobilises the vehicle. And now I will show you what happens when you do a diagnostic scan with the car with the immobiliser still working, and go from there. Okay, so what we're going to do is put the ignition on, a quick scan of the car, go by chassis number, and this will do a scan, and it will pull the chassis number from the vehicle. Dooby-doop-doop-doobie-doo. There we go, there's our chassis number, VZZ, whatever. Now, what we'll do is we'll do our Immo Off, and we'll show you the exact same process and show you what happens. Okay, so same key, but now we have done, so there's no transponder on this, but we've done our Immobiliser Delete from the engine ECU. There you go, car is running, and it'll run fine like that. So let's see now what we get with our diagnostic scan. So now when we scan the same vehicle, we go into scan it by chassis number, auto detect, it'll run through everything. Comes up, it won't detect it, so we will go into see it, automatic selection, try and read it, and that's what you get when you do Immobiliser Delete on these. There's different ways of doing them, but this is the quickest and easiest. Right, let's come out of that. Right, so there's lots of different reasons why I'm not going to show you the process I used on this one. There's different processes. I used the easiest and quickest one on these because there is certain equipment you can do it with, where you can do it via the OBD, which is what I've just done very quickly, just as this demonstration. The reasons I'm not going to show you are the fairly obvious security reason. There is the reason that it's part of my business and I have to make some money somehow, so I can't be showing everybody everything. There's quite a few reasons, but anyway, I'm not showing you how to do it. Why people do it? Well, there's lots of reasons besides the obvious, and the reason I'm not showing you the theft side of things. Why would anyone want the immobiliser removed from an engine ECU? Can it be done on all cars? Does it mean the cars are just really easy to steal? Well, there's lots of different types of systems, basically. So you can't narrow it all down. This particular car, yes, you could steal the car very easily without an immobiliser on it. And like, I'll just show you something now. If you look there, there is no key in the ignition at all. If I can get a clear shot of that for you. No key, but I can put the ignition on, no problem. Right, see that? Ignition off, ignition on. Very simple. So this sort of car, you can get the ignition on, get it running in a matter of moments with a de-immobilised ECU. Different versions of vehicles have immobiliser system is also integrated in the gearbox, in the ABS system, in all sorts of systems, so you wouldn't be able to nick it. So why would people legitimately want no immobiliser? Lots of reasons. Secondly, you need a replacement ECU. Fault with an ECU, sometimes it's easier to get rid of the immobiliser than it is to synchronise it with the car, or if they're buying one like mail order or postal and they have no specialist nearby, someone can literally send them an ECU they can plug into their car and use the car. Or if, for example, like me, you've got a workshop and you want to keep ECUs for testing, you take the immobilisers off them, you can plug them in and out as many cars as you like for testing purposes, or to get a car running, get a customer on their way and then get them back in when you've got a replacement component. People with track day cars and stuff like to have different tunes on different ECUs, people doing experimenting, lots of, when you're doing file writing for remapping and tuning, it's handy to have spare ECUs. That's one of the reasons we have some. Yeah, so there's lots and lots of reasons. Now, one thing I have had seen quite a lot of times is so-called locksmiths. There is some great locksmiths out there. There's some great vehicle electronics guys out there. And there's some chancers out there. I offer locksmith services. I don't pretend to be a locksmith. I am a diagnostician, and they sort of go hand in hand. There is idiots out there who can buy equipment because there's lots of equipment. And what it is easier to do a lot of the time, rather than program a key to a car, extract the information you need, write the key, is they literally just do this process, turn the immobiliser off. Customer doesn't know any wiser, and all they really have is basically the key inside, I don't know where I put the arm, there we go, inside the remote body. So, and you can program the remote to operate things, because that's very easy with a lot of cars, like this sort of car even, it's very easy to program the remote. So people need to be cautious of scumbags out there. They're charging good money for shoddy workmanship. That's one of the things of this type of stuff. So for this type of old car, so this is an EDC16, it's an old BKD 2-litre PD engine. If you're willing to look and spend a bit of time, all the information you need is out there. You can manually change the software inside the ECU. There's software that will do it automatically for you. You can take the ECUs out, do them on the bench, you can do them in boot mode, you can do them via the diagnostic socket. There's all different ways of doing them. But as I say, I'll demonstrate that one more time. I'm not going to show you how it's done because, like, you know, it takes literally a second to turn the ignition on this car and get rid of the immobiliser and be away in it. So I'm not going to show how that's done. This video isn't for that reason. It's just explaining that it's doable on lots of ECUs. Prices vary, work varies, the secrecy of what's involved varies, but there is a legitimate reason for it. If there is interest, I may start a website just for training. Obviously that will be a chargeable service. People will have access to training on different ECUs of different things they can do with different equipment, and hope this was helpful for somebody. And if you do want to get involved in this type of work, let me know and I will see what we can do about some sort of training.